Very good. Your Holiness, distinguished guests, including in particular from the diplomatic corps, members of the press, and many friends from LSE. My name is Professor Conor Gearty, and it is an honour to be here today to welcome you to the LSE campus to chair this morning's lecture, which will open a one-day conference which is entitled Tolerance in a Just and Fair Society. It's organised, I should say, in association with the Frederick Bonnart Braunthal Trust, Matrix Chambers, the Sigrid Rausing Trust, and LSE. It is a tremendous pleasure to welcome His Holiness the Dalai Lama to LSE this morning. Now, the schedule is very tight. He has to be away quite quickly, so we're not going to take too much time introducing him. I think you may be mildly aware of who he is. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is, of course, the spiritual leader of the Tibetan people. Now, in 2011, His Holiness completed the process of democratisation of the Central Tibetan Administration. He devolved all his political authority to the elected leadership. His Holiness has been awarded many prizes, including most notably the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989, and just last month the prestigious Templeton Prize, which was presented down the road at St. Paul's. We are delighted that His Holiness has found the time to fit LSE into his hectic schedule. For those of you already compulsively tweeting, the hashtag is LSEDL. Now, LSE follows a very strong tradition of questions and answer sessions, and depending on the time, I'm hoping that some of you will be able to catch my eye for questions at the end. But for now, I'd like you, please, all of you in the hall and the many, many hundreds of people on the rest of the campus, and a special welcome to you too, to join me in welcoming His Holiness, whose lecture is entitled Resisting Intolerance, an Ethical and Global Challenge.
Firstly, a bit delayed. So I want to say apology. But actually, I think not my mistake. A lot of traffic like that. So indeed, I am very happy having this opportunity. So whenever I give talk or meet people, I always consider myself that I am another human being. We are same. Basic level, entire 7 billion of human beings are same, mentally, emotionally, physically also. There's little differences, color or size, or some are very fat, some are thin, some big nose, some are small, some are flat. But these are minor differences. I think important is these different people can marry and can produce very nice children. So that is the sort of proof. That is the proof. You see, we are same human being. So then, important, the entire 7 billion human being, by innate, everyone want happy life, do not want suffering, problem. I think on this planet, nobody from early morning, at early morning, wish, or today, I should face some problems. I think nobody feels that. Even you see people who often who surrounded by difficulties or problems, I think at least such person in morning wish, or today, less problem. So everyone, even animal, have that desire, less sort of disturbances. So therefore, that is by innate. So long the feeling of pains and pleasure there, the desire to more happier sort of life, less disturbances, it automatically come. So then, because of that, everyone have every right to achieve happy life. And I usually is telling people, the very purpose of our life is joyful life, joyfulness. Reason, the happiness or successful life, there's no guarantee. But we always keep hope. Hope means something good. If person, due to some factor, completely lost hope, then that mental sort of attitude itself shortened our life. Then worst case, even suicide. So therefore, our life very much based on hope. Our survival very much based on hope. Hope means something good. Therefore, very purpose of our life, we can say happy life. No problem. Although we equipped this marvelous human intelligence, this is supposed to fulfill that desire, that goal. You see, happy life, not necessarily in the terms of immediate thing, but long run. So animal, you see, their sort of concern is immediate sort of more calm life. Because you see, they are lacking this kind of intelligence, so they cannot see long-term interest. We human beings, even you see, not only my own life, but next generation, then after that. So I think, for example, human being on this planet, now this is the moment of beginning of 21st century. We have the ability, thinking, not only 21st century, but 22nd century, 23rd century. So that is, I think, ability of our intelligence. So therefore, the way to fulfill our desire, our right, intelligence is supposed to be the means or method to fulfill that. So now, I always say, I myself also feel the intelligence have the ability to know the reality. Once knows reality, then the method, or right method, that means realistic method to achieve that also intelligence, you see, show us there. So the way. Now I think I want to say when we in order to know the reality, the reality of our goal and also the reality of our approach. Both, in order to know that reality fully, we should look at these things from a wider way, wider perspective, more holistic way. For example, one event, one sort of object, if you look from one angle, you can't see the fuller picture of the reality. Perhaps I think we are, this body also, two eyes. Why? In order to see different dimensions. I'm talking through my own experience. This left eye, cut?
Cataract removed, surgery.
They remove. So I can see very clearly. This not yet removed. So almost, when you see, look, almost like one eye. So you see, difficult to, because of the different dimensions.
To judge the...
The walking, because of steps.
Steps.
It appears same, same flat, right?
Flat, yeah.
So, I think most of the species of mammals is two eyes that biologically equipped to see more dimensions, like that. So therefore, in order to know our aim more, we should adopt more holistic way and look at different angles, 3 dimension, or 4 dimension, 6 dimension. Once we know the reality, the object, the reality of the object, then our method usually becoming more realistic. Now here, in order to carry investigation properly, our mind must be calm. Disturbed mind never see the reality objectively. So when we investigate, our mind must be calm. Then we can study the reality objectively. If too much desire, I want that, I want this, or very negative sort of feeling, I want to get rid of that, too much, then you cannot see the reality. So therefore, now here we need some knowledge how develop calm mind. The desire, attachment, hatred, anger, fear, all these part of our mind. Usually, I feel we people consider there is too much attachment, too much revulsion.
Aversion.
Aversion. This, you see, part of our mind. So people consider this is something usual. I think I feel mistake.
Take it for granted. Take it for granted.
Take for granted. And also I think lack of knowledge. Each has the different emotions, identity, and it is
attitudes.
Not more.
Its functions.
Functions. I don't know whether right word or not. I don't know. But you see, I have no adequate English sort of vocabulary, so I have to rely on his word. I don't know. So
He's good.
oh, that's good. I mean, like matter, you see, in order to use the matter, we have to know the sort of the property, something good, something benefit, something negative. We should know that. Then we can use properly. So similarly, the mind, mental world, there are so many variety of thoughts or variety of emotions. Some are good, some are bad. Good and bad, not on the basis of religious sort of teaching. No, simply on the scientific basis. Some thought, some emotion, very bad for our health. Not only disturb our mental state, but also very bad for our health. Some emotions, very good for our health. So on that basis, I'm saying positive emotion, negative emotion. So now there, now according some respected, well-known scientist, more compassionate feeling here. You see, it creates calmness of mind. Because warm-heartedness creates self-confidence. Self-confidence brings inner strength. So with inner strength, our mental state becomes calm. Because the real destroyer of calm mind is fear, anger, hatred, these things. And also attachment. We must make distinction. Loving kindness and attachment, two different things. Loving kindness based on reason. Attachment not based on reason, but biologically, emotional sort of thing, like that. So now my point now. So look, world. Everybody want happy life, do not want problem. But yet, lot of problem, essentially our own creation. Why? They have no such desire to create more problem. But they create problem. How? Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, lack of sort of understanding or knowledge, long-term interest. Many people, I feel, maybe a little bit of arrogance, right? Presumptuous. I feel, many cases, we human beings acting like animal, just relying on sensorial level of experiences, not thinking about deeper the human potential. That's human intelligence. So there are sort of contradictions or difference of interest for pleasure, immediate sensorial level, but long run harmful. Animal cannot make distinction that. We human being can make distinction that. So I think a lot of problem which we are facing. I think a lot of problem now today at the beginning of the 21st century we are facing, including this global economy crisis. And also huge gap, rich and poor. And also a damaging environment. All this, our own creation, I feel. Of course, the global warming, I think some because of the nature also now, nature process. 1,000 years, they think the world sort of its own position on these things, changing. That's beyond our control. But at the same time, a lot of sort of like pollutions, these are our own creation, like that. So these lacking because they utilize human intelligence properly. Just consider stress, importance of immediate because of the satisfaction.
Immediate benefits.
Immediate benefits, like that. So now answer, how to reduce that? Firstly, you should develop our sort of outlook to see entire humanity as a same human being. Because, again, we too much stress the secondary level of differences, forgetting the basic level of oneness of humanity. Even sometimes religious sort of believer, they emphasize more within their own, or say the same tradition, the follower of same sort of tradition, some special sort of feeling. The outside distance. So that way, even religious faith also, you see, create divisions. Then, of course, races, color, and different nationality. And same sort of nationality, same color. Within that, again, believer, non-believer. Within believer, this belief, that belief. And within same belief, same faith, again, social background, rich, poor, influential, uninfluential, like that. Limitless sort of differences there. So sometimes we emphasize on that rather than oneness of humanity. I believe if we reach or talks or sort of say they act on the level of oneness of humanity, then hardly so no basis to quarrel each other, killing each other, cheating each other. The other, also human being, have every right. So then there are more sort of, what's the diversions, diversity, but always there's some common things it because of
to bind together.
So that's humanity. So therefore, I think humanity of this planet, eventually we may find some different human species in different sort of galaxies, but then still we can say human being of this planet. So then maybe some reason, you see, we say, oh, our humanity. And this 7 billion human being on this planet, you see, we have to take sort of serious concern about the rest of them because individuals' future depend on them. For example, we Asian, our future depend on the West or the different part of the world, at least. And then West, there are the fuels, right? Or these things, you see, you heavily depend on Arabs. Middle East. Middle East need technology, depend on Western technology. Like that. And the northern, richer sort of countries, the raw materials mainly come from the southern world. The southern world need machines or technology, these things also come from north. So heavily interdependent. Then environment. Environment never make distinction. This continent or that continent, never. And global economy, not so respect national boundary. maybe currency maybe create some sort of boundary. Otherwise, you see, actually no boundary. So that's the reality. And individual future depend on rest of the people. So we are social animal. Individuals happy life, at least mentally. If you consider rest of the human being as a human brothers, sisters, then you feel safe. Mentally, if you consider others, the sources of suspicion, then you automatically keep or develop suspicion, distrust here. Look this side, I do for example, look this human being, a little suspicion. Look this human being, little suspicion. Then ultimately, I suffer. And mentally, I become lonely. If I look this side, in spite of different color, is it different sort of a shape or different culture or these things, but still human being. Human brother. Then immediately, here, one human brother here. Look here, another human being here. Feel happy. Clear? With that feeling, if I say, even like Christ,
Even if I feel itchy.
No, not this. I mean, the certain area I can reach, but in some sort of difficult area, then if necessary, I can ask him, please.
I was afraid that was going to happen.
Like that. So all human life, you see, if you keep positive atmosphere, friendly atmosphere,
Attitude,
trust, respect, you feel much happier. So the very basis of our sort of act of exploitation, bully, cheating, lying, these, you see, consider other as something different from you. Your interest, not relying on them. That creates, you see, these negative actions, verbal action, physical action, mental action. So how to reduce this negative thing? It's not sufficient just to tell people, don't tell lie. Don't cheat other people. Unless you say, don't cheat other people because God unhappy. Or something, God unhappy. If you do this, God will happy. That's for religious believer. Ordinary people, there's not much care. So now we must. So in order to reduce these harmful activities, the basic thing is develop clear sort of understanding or awareness. We are same human being, sameness of human being. Everybody have equal right. Once that understanding develop, then one side our emotion want to cheat, but other side you realize, same human brothers, sisters. I should not indulge this. And then also, my future depend on them. If you tell lie, if you cheat people, actually you lose friend. Essentially, create potential of enemy. If you keep, compassionate attitude on the basis of sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, then actually create more friends. Like that. So we human beings, now here, many levels, cheating other people, that also form of violence. Exploit other, no question, violence. And corruptions, also a kind of violence. I think all injustice sort of activities are essentially violence. So non-violence, now for example, you see the restrain physical action, violent action, but keep here a lot of suspicion, a lot of anger. Yes, we cannot say that's the genuine non-violence. Ultimately, the demarcation, violence and non-violence, up to here. For example, if I, you see, want to cheat or to exploit you, this gentleman, and then you see saying very nice thing and showing a very respectful attitude. That actually violence, because real motivation, I want to exploit or cheating. So there's violence. Then, other hand, out of genuine sense of concern, your well-being, if that person, you see, about to go some dangerous things, long-term because of the consequences, negative consequences, then first generally express, please don't do that. Still not sort of listen. Then maybe a little harsh word. That actually appears harsh word, harsh attitude, but out of sense of concern. So that non-violence. So ultimately, violence, non-violence related here. So now, many problems we are facing is actually, I think, lack of, and also you see, including violence or intolerance. We are lacking this awareness. So it's not simple to say, oh, don't indulge violence. May not much of effect. So we have to sort of the overall strategy. That's, I think, important. So now here, as a well-known sort of one university, and audience, a lot of you, I think, because of young people, young men, women, you are source of our hope. My generation, usually I describe my generation belongs to 20th century. Maybe you between there. And this also. I think some maybe my one there, I think my generation belongs to 20th century. People whose age above 60, 70, that, you see, they belongs to 20th century. So our century now already gone. So generation who belongs to 20th century also now ready to say bye-bye. So these people below 30, 20, 15, 10, you are the generation of this 21st century. Now, learning from past centuries' experience, a lot of violence, a lot of unhealthy things. Ultimately, these things create from here a combination of negative emotion and human intelligence combine and create a lot of problem. So now, in order to develop a new world, happy world, no violence, no cheating, more equality. Firstly, these points which I mentioned, you see, please think more these points. Then you yourself, I never imposing. You yourself investigate, experiment, through experiment and investigation, if you get more sort of conviction, then make effort. Just wishful thinking of better world, happier world, never realize, never materialize. And also through prayer, never materialize. So change comes through action. The other day in Japan, in Hiroshima, some Nobel sort of summit there, Nobel laureates summit. So the people, mainly used to say, I mean, everybody used to say peace, peace. Then in my turn talk, I express peace never come through prayer or through wish. Peace must build through action. Peace come only through our action. So, you younger generation, you should have some greater sort of vision that this century eventually be a compassionate century. With that, any problem that we face, you see, because of you respect others, because you keep sense of concern of their well-being, that's the basis of meaningful dialogue. Differences there, but fundamental level we are same. So with that kind of understanding, then ready to share other problem. I think one Hawaiian people, they have some kind of saying, your blood, my blood, your bone, my bone. So that's meaning that therefore your happiness, my happiness, your joyfulness, my joyfulness, your suffering, my suffering, your pain, my pain. I think we should develop that kind of sort of really genuine human attitude. We are a social animal. Therefore, that kind of attitude is very fit, even biologically. That kind of views there, biological, also getting healthier, like that. So please, those generation who belongs to 21st century, please think more seriously and make effort. Then you will see different world, happier world, no longer violence. Thank you. Some questions? Yes, that's a question. Yes, a question. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
No
thank you, thank you very much, Your Holiness. We have an English phrase, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. For people to try to catch my eye for some questions, we may get one or two. We have this gentleman in the front, we have this chap, that lady there. I'm sorry to be so selective. And have we anybody a little bit further back? Over on the right-hand side, waving at me rather enthusiastically. We'll take these three. I'm going to ask you, with a sense of goodwill, Your Holiness, to be succinct, to say what your name is and where you are from, and ask a quick question, because really we don't want to have too many long ones. Sir, you have the floor for His Holiness.
Your Holiness, my name is Branton. I'm from Hong Kong. I want to ask you a rather loaded question. What is your personal opinion of the Chinese government?
Thank you. We're going to take three, Your Holiness. Thank you for the succinctness. The lady right behind you will take three, I think.
That's kind of difficult for me. Difficult.
But we'll take. No, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to protect you, Your Holiness. You're in LSE. You're never protected in LSE. We have a second question.
Hello, Your Holiness. My name is Miranda. I work for Hackney Law Centre, which helps people with no money to assist them with their legal problems. My question to you is, what emotions does somebody need to fight injustice when everything is against them, when they want to have new political world, but the authorities are against them? What are the emotions they need to keep strong and to keep their mental strength to help them change that world? What emotions to be positive?
Thank you. And we have one last question, Your Holiness. Somebody who caught my eye, whose hand is now up. Right? No, it's further over, and it's that gentleman whose hand is still up. Thank you for the succinctness of the first two. Sir, your name and a quick question to His Holiness.
My name is Bahauddin. Wonderful speech, wonderful talk, very practical. You are a valued foreign citizen living in India, where in fact intolerance is unfortunately endemic. By the way, Britain, in my view, is a very tolerant society. It is on the whole very tolerant, although actually inequality is very great in this country. But what I want to know is in India, where actually intolerance is very great, also inequality is very great. I was wondering, as one of the most valued foreign citizens living in India, what is your contribution to tolerance within Indian society?
Thank you very much. And I'm just going to check with His Holiness that he's got all three questions. There was quite an easy one to start with.
Not three questions.
In your own time and in your own order, Your Holiness.
I think first question. I think everybody, as I mentioned earlier, loves freedom, isn't it? So I think the people in mainland China, and also I think Hong Kong people, I think what you have the view, the totalitarian, closed society, or too much heavy censorship. I don't like that. I think you also have the same sort of feeling. So I usually use expressing 1.3 billion Chinese people have every right to know the reality. And once Chinese people knows the reality, people have the ability to judge what is right or what is wrong. So therefore, according to that reality, censorship is immoral. Then another point, I often used to telling, mainland Chinese judiciary system, controlled by party or serving party's interest. The judiciary system, Chinese judiciary system, must sort of lift up, must be brought up to international standard of judiciary system. That I think very, very important. That I always see expressing that. Second question.
Injustice don't let you ever cover and so you emotion cage of injustice the
I think firstly you yourself should remain honest, truthful. Through that way you gain inner strength, self-confidence. Then you also fight for justice, becoming much more stronger. If you yourself remain weak, then fight for justice sometimes difficult. That's my view. Clear? Emotion. I think I point which I mentioned. Now here, I think they at present existing sort of reality, the people not much concerned about these moral principles. Only think money, power. So for the time being, difficult. That's the reality. So as I mentioned earlier, we should have long-term sort of visions. So immediate sort of change existing sort of situation. difficult. So we need sort of courage, self-confidence. In order to bring courage, self-confidence in your daily life, you yourself, so that lead life honest, truthful, more compassionate, like that. That's my view. Sometimes, you see, the unjust much forceful than justice. It's sad, but in reality. But we have to carry continuous sort of fight and struggle like that. Then the third one.
Injustice because the intolerance is the tolerance contribution.
I have different views. Overall, India, I think, like different religious sort of traditions lived together last, I think, almost 3,000 years. That means before Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Zoroastrianism reached India, already in India, different religious traditions already there. Jainism, Buddhism, Sangha, and some other. So they live together. Occasionally, some sort of fighting, but generally, overall, I think very much tolerant of different religious tradition. So then, basically, I think the concept of non-violence, ahimsa, I think quite strong. Since India became independence, look, compare neighboring state, India, very stable. During emergency, Indira Gandhi sort of period, you see, things sort of, many people say then quite serious. But after, finally, through election, it's a government change. No single shot. I think that's the greatness of India. That's my view. And intolerance, but then so the outside of India, say, between Sunni, Shia killing. Like Northern Ireland, between Catholics, Protestants, sort of what's the fighting. And now, newly sort of got freedom, like Egypt, again it's a problem. Then very recently, in Burma, actually I think people now should, because of joyfulness, because of the change, because of the more freedom, like Aung San Suu Kyi now have the opportunity to visit the outside world. Wonderful, wonderful. But then some Muslim, some sort of Buddhist, some conflict. I think in India, small conflict there, but overall, I think very healthy. So still, I'm urging, whenever I sort of participate in some, spiritual, Indian spiritual leaders, like Rishi Gishi, and then Haridwar. There's a few occasions, some gathering, many religious sort of Hindu leaders, including some Shankaracharya, are appearing. Now the 1,000-year-old India's these traditions now must make relevance day-to-day life, and these the value of 1,000-year-old tradition should make relevance to the people, and religious leader should come out and close sort of contact with the masses. So I usually used to describe I myself as a messenger of ancient Indian thought. So according to your view, I am messenger or messenger of intolerance. I don't think that. So in any way, I appreciate your frank sort of comment. I really appreciate. But overall, I think India, still I feel very good, very good. So there is good, sort of good basis. Now we need more effort. These traditions should reach every part of the world, every part of India. I totally sort of agree. The corruptions. I usually teasing my Indian friend. Indian, usually religious-minded, worship Ganesh, worship Shivaji, and Saraswati, like that. But these people, sometimes I teasing them, it seems you are worship to God and goddesses to succeed your,
Involvement,
corruptions or injustice. These should be successful. Almost like that. That's a big contradiction. I always was telling my Indian friend, only two ways, two choices. Either accept God, goddesses, devas, devis, and lead your life honest, truthful, compassionate. Or forget God, worship money, go that way.
Your Holiness, thank you. What a marvelous final point, truly spoken. Look, you're going to have to stay here for a few minutes. I'd like you to stay while we go into a sort of presentation, but I would like to, on behalf of you, because I know you feel this, thank His Holiness for really, I think, a remarkable exposition at so many different levels, and that he graced us with his presence here in LSE despite the incredible pressures on his time is something which we'll remember for the rest of our lives with immense gratitude, whatever age we are, whichever century, Your Holiness, we belong to. Now, LSE has a terrific tradition, though we're quite a young place, and it involves my compatriot, whom I'd like to welcome on stage, who is the chair of LSE's Court of Governors, Peter Sutherland. And Peter is going to ask His Holiness, well, he's going to present the LSE's formal certificate to recognize your visit, Your Holiness. And secondly, and rather eccentrically, in an LSE kind of way, it started with Nelson Mandela and continued past Bill Clinton and other people. And it had indeed a use yesterday with Aung San Suu Kyi. He's going to, Peter, I think you're going to offer an LSE baseball cap to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Mr. Peter Sutherland.
Well, my compatriot has already said everything that could be said, other than the following. The demonstration which we've had this morning of compassion, tolerance, and humanity is something with which this school would like to be associated. And for that, in particular, we're very grateful. Going back to its earliest foundation as a tradition, it was Mandela, President Mandela, who first received the cap, which I am now going to present, together with a certificate for this remarkable day.
Very useful. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
This is... We have now got the presentation of scarves to the various sponsors, including LSE. I'm receiving my scarf, I'm delighted to say, as a representative of Matrix Chambers, wearing my barrister's wig. We have next Dr. Sigrid Rausing, who's done, as everybody knows, extraordinary work for human rights and who has also been a sponsor of today's event. Dr. Rausing. And the trust without whom this event would not have taken place, its chair, Alex Armstrong, the Bonnart Braunthal Trust. Ladies and gentlemen, I think without pretty well further ado, but reminding you to be very helpful if you remained in your seats for a moment as a respect to our honoured guest, if you could, for the last time, show your appreciation of His Holiness as we leave LSE together at the end of this morning.